I'm Dr. Nathan Webb, and I'm a professor in the Department of Communication Studies at Belmont. And today I want to tell you a little bit about study abroad programs here at Belmont. So I'll just begin briefly by talking about some of the programs that I've taught in, and then that'll help you maybe understand the program on a larger scale. So I have taught 3 programs at this point. I taught my first year in Sweden. We taught a course called Social Justice in Sweden, and I taught intercultural communication. There was a third-year writing course, and then there was a social work professor who taught a course on social systems in Scandinavia. The second year, we added Denmark, so it was Social Justice in Scandinavia. The third year, I taught a course in partnership with a theater professor in Paris, and in that trip, we talked about culture, and we talked about theater and arts. And then this coming year, I will teach my 4th course, where we're going to go back to Scandinavia one more time, and we'll teach a course in Sweden, Denmark, and in Norway. So at Belmont, there are really 2 types of programs, just simply put. There are short-term trips, which we typically call Maymesters. Those typically happen throughout the summer, or very few occur over spring break. So those are short-term faculty-led trips. And so those trips are led by your professors in the classroom. And then there are some longer-term trips. So these would be semester-long programs. I'm going to focus primarily on the short-term trips, the faculty-led, what we call Maymesters, because that's what most of our students do here at Belmont. And so these trips typically occur between a 2 to 4 week time frame. I would say on average, probably a little less than 3 weeks. And again, these happen in May, in June, and then in July. And so typically 2 to 3, occasionally 4 professors here at Belmont will get this trip together and take a group of students, typically anywhere from 10 or 12 up to probably 20 to 30 on the higher end. In the past, I typically have taken about 15 students. And these trips are awesome because there is a 1/3 tuition discount on these trips. So essentially, you pay for 1 credit what you would typically pay for 3 credits here at Belmont. And the way this works out, if you were thinking of taking classes at Belmont over the summer anyway, these trips typically figure to be about equal cost to taking summer courses here at Belmont, sometimes even less, believe it or not, with the added benefit, of course, of going abroad. And students have to take at least one course on these trips, so for 3 credit hours, but many will take 6, 9, or 12 hours on these trips. And there's even a few online options that students can take to supplement what they're taking while they're abroad. Students go all over the world. That's the short version of the question, where do students go? Some of the more popular destinations, unsurprisingly, would be places like London, Paris, Rome. There's a Holy Land trip that is really popular here at Belmont. And of course, I mentioned I've taught at Paris, and then I'm hoping just to continue to make the Scandinavia trips even more popular as well. But really, students go all over the world, multiple continents. And so the last thing I'll talk about briefly is just how this enriches students' learning. So I studied abroad as a master's student before I went on and got my PhD. I did a church study history tour while getting my master's degree, and that trip changed my life. Like, it helped me conceptualize and see many of the places that we were studying in textbooks in the classroom. And it was really a beneficial thing to me to see, oh, this is where this person lived and did life. And also another benefit of doing these trips, you just get perspectives you wouldn't typically have access to. I mean, we can talk about these perspectives and learn them, and that's all fine and good. But then going and seeing different perspectives, and different cultural differences, different political systems, different views on religion, for example, that I think it just makes students a more well-rounded student in general. And then something that I am partial to, but I think that is just especially important in the globalized world, is just intercultural exposure and competence. We live in a world where we are constantly interacting with people who come from different backgrounds than we do. And so studying abroad gives you a firsthand opportunity to try intercultural communication on for size and hopefully increase your competence. So study abroad is a big part of Belmont. And if you have any more questions or have any questions about study abroad, feel free to contact us.